Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking yet another video and welcome if you're new. My name is Taddy G and on this channel I like to share what it's truly like to run a clothing brand as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems and all of that good stuff. And I was on a hiatus off of this app for a while, but I promise that I will be back and I will be back consistent. So this is week 2 of being consistent here on YouTube. Now if you watched my previous video like 2 videos ago, I apologized for being away, and the reason why I was away was because I've been off over on TikTok building that platform, and I actually asked whether you guys would like a video of how I grew to 10,000 followers on TikTok in a space of 4 months, and I did get 2 comments that said yes, we want to see that video. So of course I am here filming exactly that for you guys. I do have a video on this channel saying that, you know, TikTok doesn't work for me. I can't seem to grow the platform until I manage to grow the platform, and the first thing I actually did was I created a whole new TikTok account called Taddy G, and it was based on me, and I was building my own personal brand. So I created this new TikTok account at the end of February, and I posted my first video on that TikTok account on the 23rd of February, and I was incredibly intentional about my goals of that TikTok page. I said to myself that I wanted to grow this page to 10,000 followers by my birthday, which is in April, and I also let my TikTok audience know my intentions and my goal and my purpose for this TikTok page. I actually ended up hitting 10,000 followers on the 11th of July, or probably the 10th of July, which ended up being just over 4 months, which, okay, I wanted to achieve it in 2. I achieved it in 4, which in its own right is an achievement. So straight off the back, with my first video that I posted, I stated my intentions, I stated my goals, and one of the key things I would say with growing on TikTok was I was incredibly intentional with everything that I did. I knew that I wasn't just doing this for fun. It is fun, TikTok is fun, but I was going in there with a goal, and I stated those intentions in my first video. I highlighted exactly what my goal was going to be, how I was going to get there, and the type of content that I was going to post. To start off with, I wanted my TikTok to be a place where I could basically post whatever I wanted. So my mantra, and it still is my mantra is posting things I like in HD. And the reason why that's my mantra is because all of my videos, well, the majority of them, like 98% of them, are filmed using this camera that I use for my YouTube videos, which is why I can confidently say that I am posting in HD. And another thing that I want to add on top of that, when you are filming using a camera and you're editing using an editing software and you're filming on like a 4K camera, you do need to export that video in 1080p because TikTok can't handle 4K, and it's gonna like compress your video, and then you end up having like a crappy quality video on your page. And I just realized that my memory card is gonna run out, so I need to go ahead and delete a little bit of content on this memory card, and yeah, I'll be back. So there might be a little change in angle, which is incredibly frustrating. So despite saying that I wanted to be able to post whatever I wanted in HD, I did end up with 4 content pillars. So my main content pillars are food, makeup, hair and lifestyle, and I am going to touch on my content pillars in a little bit more detail a little later in this video. So I was posting consistently for 2 months, and consistently for me, what it looked like was 2 to 3 times a day. Guys, 2 to 3 times a day. Sometimes I would post once a day, but it was at least once a day, and then sometimes it will obviously go up to 3 times a day. I don't think I ever exceeded 3 times a day, but yeah, that was my consistency for a solid 2 months. In May, right at the beginning of May, one of my videos went viral. I had that viral moment finally. I can't even say finally because the viral moment came in 2 months, and basically I had posted a video of me doing my hair. I'd done this hairstyle called mermaid braids, so I put them into like these jumbo plaits, and I'd posted that, and people essentially wanted to see the results of these jumbo plaits, which meant that I had like lots of comments of people saying that they want to see the results, and that in turn probably increased my views, and the video just, it flew, it went viral. So at first I was looking at it, I was like, oh my goodness, mum, it's on 16k, day it's on 30k. This is all within one afternoon, and the next day when I woke up, the video was on 400,000 views, and I was like, oh my goodness, is this viral? Before, you know, I wake up the next day, I actually posted the result of the mermaid braid hairstyle, and in turn that video also like went viral as well. And currently I have 3 of the mermaid videos all on 2 million plus views. I think the most viewed one is actually sitting on about 4 million views, which is absolutely insane to me. I knew then and there that I needed to ride this wave. I needed to stretch it out and post a lot more about these mermaid braids. So that's a key thing that you need to understand. If you have a viral moment, ride that viral moment for as long as you possibly can. So now I was posting lots of content to do with my braids, and obviously those were getting like views as well. Not quite viral, but they were getting in the views, and I was growing by around about 500 to 1,000 followers a day. And this happened over a span of 4 to 5 days, and my followers grew from, I think at that time I was on 800. I know specifically I was on 800 because on TikTok you have to be on 800 followers in order to go live, and I actually wanted to go live doing my hair, but I ended up doing my hair at night time, so I didn't actually go live. And the next day my followers had doubled. I was on 1,600 followers, and over the following days they were growing exponentially until they reached around about 5,000 followers. And basically, you know, like on a graph, it grew like this, and then once it got to 5,000 it kind of started to even off a little bit, but it was still growing. Following that viral moment, I was now growing by around about 60 to 100 to even 150 new followers a day. Now I do want to preface this by saying that going viral doesn't automatically equal followers, and I believe the reason why my virality actually ended up equaling new followers was because I had already posted consistently for 2 months. I had a whole bunch of content on my page. The people that had found me with my mermaid braid video went onto my page and saw that, okay, there is actually something for me on this page, and in turn they decided to follow, because really and truly if they wanted to just see the result, they could have just saved the video and came back to my page and watched it that way. I mean, I know I do that. So I reckon / know for a fact that my followers grew because I was consistent before and I remained consistent following that. I had 2 months worth of high quality content that was engaging, that people wanted to watch, and I definitely rid that wave. Once my followers reached that 5k mark and it started to slow down, I actually did start to get worried, because I was like, oh my gosh, is it over? Is this it for me? But then I realized that actually no, Taddy, your followers are still growing by at least 100 to 150, sometimes 60 a day, which is still like really good. If I compare that to my growth on YouTube, I grow on YouTube by around about 400 to 500 subscribers a month, right? And on TikTok it was growing by around 150 a day. So it's a lot, and I had to remind myself that growing by 100 followers a day is still a lot. And since then my page has continued to grow consistently by around about, on average, 60-70 followers a day. It can drop down to 28 and it can be like 150. It really depends on what I've posted that day and how well that video has performed. So circling back to my 4 content pillars, my food content. So I cook a lot. So I wanted to be able to post a couple of food videos here and there and do a sort of like a cook with me series. So initially when I started posting food content and cooking content, I was actually narrating it in my native language, which is Shona, because I did want it to be a little bit different to the food content that you typically see. But what I found is that it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. So nowadays I do actually just narrate it in English. So that's my food content, and I try and cook interesting dishes from different cultural backgrounds, things that I haven't cooked before, and some of the things actually do spark controversy. And I do want to mention that controversy is such a good thing on a platform like TikTok because it encourages people to comment outlandish things on your page. I mean, I posted a video of me cooking a Caribbean inspired meal, and honestly the Jamaicans were in my comments, Jamaican people were in my comments saying that this is not Jamaican, and I'm like, they're like, yo, I said Caribbean inspired, I didn't mention Jamaica at all. But mind you, I was making rice and peas, which was so offensive to them because I didn't make it in a way that they make it. I also made like jerk pork and coleslaw with raisins. Oh my goodness, people were telling me that the coleslaw with raisins was criminal. So posting content with a bit of controversy tends to perform really well on TikTok. My next content pillar is hair content. I have always been that babe that loves hair and takes great pride in their hair, the way they style their hair. I wear wigs on a regular basis, and now I've incorporated wearing like braids and stuff, so I do like post that sort of content. And in all honesty, the reason why I actually started my TikTok page was because I wanted some free wigs. It's crazy because it's actually ended up taking me in a different direction. Makeup, I post makeup content, so a lot of get ready with me, because like for example today I actually did film a get ready with me. That's another like content pillar that I have on my TikTok page. And lastly, I've got lifestyle, which kind of like, for me, lifestyle is my vlogs, my travel. And circling back to vlogs, I post Shona vlogs, and my Shona vlogs are so controversial because my Shona has an accent and it offends people, and like I said, controversy sparks comments, which sparks views, and it's great. It does also entertain a lot of people, and people actually say they prefer my vlogs when they are in Shona, even when they don't speak Shona. So definitely adding a series element to your TikTok page will definitely encourage a potential audience to follow you because they want to follow you on that TikTok series. But make sure you remain consistent on that TikTok series. I mean, I actually like want to start a new one, like a little fitness journey, but I need to make sure that I'm committed to it because I don't want to start a series and not be able to continue it. Moving forward, I am currently on 13,000 followers on TikTok, and I want to get to that next level. I want to start bringing in the brand deals on TikTok. I am in talks with a couple of brands because at the end of the day, yeah, we're intentional, yeah, we're building a platform, but in the end, you kind of want to start making like a little bit of money from the platform. So I am still trying to work out how I can get myself to that next point. How can I get myself to 100,000? I mean, the first goal is 25, but how do I get to 100,000? I think it's a case of showing my personality a little bit more. I want people to kind of like fall in love with me and maybe a little bit of my lifestyle, and also introducing different characters to my TikTok. I mean, I've already introduced my mum, and I do get like a couple of comments like, oh, mum is an influencer sort of thing, and I know like people will probably want to see a few characters that are in my life on my TikTok, so I definitely wanted to incorporate that. I do a lot of like voiceovers, so I definitely want to try and start doing a few more like chit-chatty videos because I can chat. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for ages, so there's nothing stopping me from being able to like chat to the camera like this. And then eventually there will come a point where I will introduce my clothing brand. So funnily enough, I have only ever posted one video linked to what I do in life, so I've never really properly introduced the fact that I have a clothing brand to my TikTok, and that's because I'm not ready yet. Somebody to have like opinions on my baby, and honestly the people on TikTok are wild. Once I get to the point where I have thicker skin, more followers, I will introduce my clothing brand to my personal brand and sort of see and share with you guys, of course, how that impacts my sales and my growth. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on TikTok if you want to. If you want to see a bit more of my personal life, I will link my TikTok in the description as well. And yeah, I will catch you guys in my very next video. Bye.